status of the name, not the name. Like your natural name is the upper lowercase name.
Right.
When you say you're a natural person, that's the upper lowercase name. And keep in mind, person is a commercial term.
Yeah.
However, when they're thank you. But when they're talking about living men and women, when they talk about that's what the commercial way of saying that is the natural person. That's the
Yeah.
name. That's the upper lowercase name. The
That's in
name,
the Title 15.
right? The artificial person is the name in all caps.
Yep.
That's the name that has the social security number. The natural person does not have a social security number. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Right.
The
No, I
natural
understand that.
person,
Yeah.
yeah, the natural person does not have the social security number. The artificial person has the social security number. The artificial person is the entity that is being used to conduct business.
Right.
That's
Right.
also,
It's
and
legit. Like
yeah,
you
and
do
you
is common.
exactly, and you also changing the status of that name when you're using it's a different status of that same name if you get an EIN number. Think about it. If you get an EIN number to go with that, to do conduct business or whatever, because that's for tax purposes. It changes your
Yeah.
tax status. The social security number is for a taxpayer. EIN number is for an employer. That's why they call it.
Exactly.
That's why it's called an employer identification number. So is this people understanding what the status of the name is? If your name in upper lowercase is not the number, that's not the name that has the social. The name that has the social is the artificial person, which is the all cap
Exactly.
name. And that's the natural person is supposed to control the artificial person. Now we speak in commercial terms, and the natural person, that being you, they speak in commercial terms. They speak in commercial terminology. You're operating. You're operating. I have one downstairs on the table. But anyway, the natural person is what controls the artificial person. In the commercial world, because they can't do business with the natural person except through the artificial person.
Yeah, I know that. I'm shit. We've
Yeah.
been talking about this for a minute.
Yeah, so this is why I try, like people talking about, oh, get rid of that social. You don't get rid of the damn social. Social's that's for
Nah.
commercial benefits, for benefits. You just got to know how to use it. It's not,
Exactly.
it's not you that have the social. It's not you. The name in all caps is not you anyway. That's the entity you're supposed to be registering. When I say registering the name, you're registering that entity to prove that you're the one that's the grantor, the beneficiary of that name. You're the
Exactly.
one
Yep.
that have the control of that name. You're the one that's authorized to use that name and conduct business. Every state requires, any individual that's doing business, they're required to register that name that they're doing business in. So if you're doing
Yep.
business with your name that your father and mother gave you, and it's in this commercial world, it's going to be in all capitalized letters. It's an artificial person. You get your
Yeah.
EIN number, or however you're doing business with it. Some people doing business with it as a taxpayer. Either way, you're conducting business, because it say if you sign a lease or leasing agreement, you're still conducting business, and you're using your social, not an EIN number.